Hello and welcome to CIO Leadership Live Middle East. Today, it is my pleasure to host Anthony Lindsay, Vice President IT at Atlantis, The Palm in Dubai. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Andrea. It's wonderful to be here with you, virtually, of course. But thank you very much for inviting me on this call.
No, thank you. It is my pleasure to have you today with us because we recently celebrated the third edition of CIO 50 Middle East Awards, and you were again one of the top 50 winners. So many congratulations for all the amazing work you and your team are doing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'd just like to say it's definitely a team effort from my side. Although, we've been doing this for 3 years and I've been fortunate to make the list. It's only the team around me that enables me to do that. So I really appreciate the support you and my team have provided me.
I know it's been a tough year, and I know a lot of team building work and a lot of efforts because, well, Atlantis the Pound opened in 2008, and since then you have never stopped investing in digital transformation, focusing on a customer-centric strategy. But on top of that, at the beginning of this year, we saw in Dubai the opening of a second hotel, Atlantis Royal, which is huge. So what were the key challenges for the IT team before the opening, and what technology can we find behind Atlantis the Royal?
Great question, Andrea. It was an amazing opportunity to be a part of that opening. It was spectacular, as I'm sure you saw. For us, I think one of the key challenges leading up to the opening of Atlantis the Royal was ensuring that we didn't take the eye off of Atlantis the Palm, right? That was an operating hotel. Obviously, we have a lot of regular customers during that period, which was our Q4 season. So we needed to ensure that we balance between the pre-opening effort that was required to get Atlantis the Royal over the line, but also to ensure that our customers coming to enjoy the resort of Atlantis the Palm receive that exceptional service that we are renowned for. So for us, it was the balance of both. I think in terms of your question on technology and what can we see in Atlantis the Royal, there's a couple of things that stood out for me as part of the development. I would say, if you've come into the lobby, you'll see that immersive LED experience that complements the fish tanks with curated content from our marketing team. I think that's quite a spectacular view in terms of the lobby. We've done some very intuitive guest technology in the rooms. If you look at our guest room management system and the touch panels, again, it's bespoke. We've designed those panels with our marketing team to make it super easy for the customer to interact. We took time out to look and develop a customized remote control for the television, but also integrates to the shears and drapes. So it's a single solution within the room. And for me, that was like a pet project for about a year, designing and working with the partner to bring that to life. So that's a really neat feature that we can showcase. And then, from a technology and application perspective, we kept it relatively simple. We wanted to align with Atlantis the Palm and ensure and extend those capabilities into the Atlantis the Royal. So it's an immersive experience as a hotel, ultra luxury. We've spent a lot of time in our signature suites. So if you look at the mansion, which is our the equivalent to the Bridge Suite, we have looked at Bang & Olufsen, leaned on them in terms of their in-room entertainment, surround sound. We have a home theater that incorporates a 146-inch Samsung LED wall, which I think is unique and special. So there's a lot of little touches that we've gone to Crestron in order of controlling home automation. So, bringing that ultra luxury from your home into the hotel room. So lots to see and do from a technology perspective.
Lots to see. I know Atlantis, both of the hotels, it's not just an hotel. I know you are always trying to be at the top of every innovation, and a lot of the things have changed. We have COVID, we are talking about hospitality. The customer wants this to work. They don't want any problem when they travel. They want the key card to be ready, everything to resettle. But what trends are going to be the most disruptive for a sector like yours in the coming years?
Well, I think disruptive in a positive way. There's a lot of talk about AI, as I'm sure you're hearing about that as you go through your industry sectors. No different in the hospitality. I think AI is here to stay. It's really about how do we apply AI within the hospitality sector, and what are those use cases? If we look at Atlantis Dubai, two large hotel resorts with a large water park. We've got scale. We do have a lot of manual processes. So I think, with AI and the future capabilities that are to come, we can automate an awful lot of those manual processes. So that's what excites me. That's what I'm looking forward to in the future and looking to invest in. And then I would say, in our transition from an on-premise Opera to Opera Cloud, OHIP is an area that I think, again, is a positive disruption in the way we manage Opera. And I like to think of this as, it's the marketplace. It's the Apple Store from an Opera Oracle perspective. So I believe lots of developers will have the opportunity to integrate with Opera. And that will open up many avenues for interesting applications and platforms that we can leverage. What I say is the heart of operations from a hotel perspective.
I say that, and you mentioned this, that both of the hotels, Atlantis is not just an hotel; it's a whole experience. It's a resort. You mentioned the water park. It's the biggest aqua park inside that you have inside the resort. I mean, the biggest aqua park that we can see in a hotel. I've been there, and I know the customer can experience full digital experience inside the park just by linking a band, let's say a bracelet, who works, as I was saying. Sorry, I'm going to repeat this question because
no problem.
I was not looking at the question and I wanted to say, okay, sorry, my fault. You see, I also make mistakes. As we mentioned, Atlantis is not just an hotel, it's a resort that offers a full experience to the clients with the biggest aqua park inside the resort. I know the customer can experience a full digital experience inside the park just by linking a band who works as a bracelet called Aquaband. I've been there. It's amazing. I've never experienced something like this. I think that when a client goes to an aqua park, I've been in some places before in which they offer you a bracelet, but you need to charge the money. So you need to think in advance how much money you're going to spend. I've been also in places, old school, that you just need to stop what you're doing, go again to the locker, take your money. So I knew about the Aquaband experience, but I was not expecting to link directly my credit card. Like I thought I needed to charge. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. I can leave behind in my locker everything, and I don't need to be worried because my credit card is linked to the Aquaband. So tell us a little bit about the touch experience that is behind and the development of the app. It's not only the Aquaband, it's all the app in which you can see how many minutes you need to wait for each experience. So, well, you know better than me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you were able to test drive it firsthand. This has been a journey in terms of developing and bringing to life the Aquaband. Our vision to begin with was really about the customer experience, operational efficiencies, and then how do we optimize and drive more revenue within the park. And I think all of that is wrapped around, greater insights on the customer behavior through data analytics. So, we embarked on this journey. It's been a challenge because nothing is ever easy, and we're a complex business. And I think not just for IT, but also for the business, because this is a change in the way operations is conducted in the water park. We've gone away with the barcoded wristband, which you may have seen before, into what we describe as a wearable wristband with both Bluetooth technology as well as RFID. So now the capabilities are there. You talked about tokenizing your credit card. Again, these are to remove the friction. I put all my belongings into a locker, and I have a method of payment on my wristband. So again, removing that friction. We are now on a journey to evolve the platform, and we selected a platform that we can grow. So we're looking at more of an e-commerce, being able to purchase, spontaneously within the park using an app, looking at opportunities with photos and how I can again purchase and access photos through the app. And again, it's really about creating that customer experience within the water park. We're a theme park, so you come for the day, you have that immersive experience in the park, but also complemented by the technology that we're providing. So we're super excited. We have lots of work to do ahead of us. It's really just the beginning. We've launched it, but like I said, we have a pipeline of evolution in terms of the Aquaband.
We will discuss about this because I want to know what are your plans and Atlantis plans for next year. But before that, in order to develop all of this experience, I know how closely you have worked with the marketing department, which I think is amazing because I don't hear quite often IT teams involved with marketing. And I think it's crucial when we talk about customer-centric approach. Why it is so important for tech leaders, especially in hospitality, to work with the marketing department?
Yeah, I've always developed and fostered those relationships early on in my career with marketing. It's even more prevalent now with digital technology and online. And for me, you have this conversion between marketing and digital marketing. So for us as a team, we work very closely with marketing. They challenge us and we challenge them. We work together on the mobile apps, on digital technology, whether that's room key enablement, loyalty programs. So the 7 years that I've been with Atlantis, it's been a very strong relationship. They're a supporter of the technology. We provide guidance and guardrails around what's good and what we need to steer clear of, what's scalable, what we can support. So it's been a very strong alliance, I would say.
No, I think that's amazing. You mentioned your past. You have been 7 years already in Atlantis the Palm. One more year ahead because 2024 is coming. So what can we expect in terms of technology from Atlantis? Where is the company going to invest? What are your plans as a VP IT and for the IT team?
Yeah, I think, critical years ahead. We've got 2024, 2025. We're already thinking ahead in terms of 2-3 years down the road from a technology roadmap perspective. For us, it's that transition from on-premise to cloud. I would say, we're probably a little bit behind where we would like to be, but we are certainly invested in making that transition. So things like moving to Opera Cloud, we're working through a very comprehensive due diligence program and exercise now on assessing what does that mean for an Atlantis moving from an on-premise Opera to a cloud Opera. Think of that as a gap analysis. So the idea is we'll get a playbook, we'll look to execute that on a suitable time frame in the coming year. So that's one of the many technology initiatives that we're working through. We do have some other areas in terms of human resource and time management. Again, looking at how do we optimize our workforce, how do we optimize labor on scale, and making sure that we execute the right technologies. So still lots going on. And then, of course, I mentioned Aquaband. It's just the beginning. We will continue to evolve that platform. Lots of additional features to come. We're working closely with the partner on building that roadmap and looking at delivering milestones throughout 2024.
Well, if this is just the beginning, we need to catch up again because I think we need to know how things are going in terms of technology for Atlantis. All the best. I know how hard you work this year, especially with the opening of Atlantis, the Royal. Anthony Lindsay, VP IT at Atlantis, the Palm. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Andrea. Wonderful to speak to you.